David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And did you got something to say? No, he's got nothing to say. He's got the next 10 minutes, but he won't have anything to say. This is economic policy, and I'd like to hear what Winston Peters' economic policy. You know how Winston Peters' speech will go? He'll stand up here, he'll wait for someone to interrupt him, and then he'll... Oh, come on. No, he can't handle it, eh?
Order!
Mr Speaker, as you will know, there is a procedure in this House, and has been for a long time, where a member can request that the other member yield so that the challenge that he is making out can be met. He wants to hear me speak, so I'm asking him to yield.
Well, that's not a point of order.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not a point of order. If the member, it's up to the member on his feet to decide whether he wants to yield. David Bennett.
So that's the other part of his speech process, is to do a point of order, because he can't handle someone actually attacking him in this House, and so he has to do a point of order to try and break it up. He's an old dog with some new tricks, but it's good to see him back. So, I've only been here 5 minutes, but yeah, no, that's right. But we'll be interested to see his economic policy, because I'll tell you what his economic policy will be. It'll be squat, it'll be zero, it'll be nothing. Never had an economic policy, never will, and never could get one together. It's such a shame to see such a politician of longevity sit there in pain and understand what he's got to do for the next 10 minutes, and he'll just try and abuse people personally instead of actually doing anything of any consequence. OK, I will. OK, let's have a look at the Green Party. The Green Party just spoke. This is Russell Norman, the economic guru, that said we were going to print money. Where's printing money gone? The Green Party soon got rid of printing money, or they still secretly want to print money. Is that really what it is? Russell Norman came into this House year after year after year saying, we will print money to solve New Zealand's problems. Then suddenly, Russell Norman worked out that it was a dumb move. And he stopped saying what he said he would want to do, which is print money. Now he comes back in here with the next level of his agenda, which he always talks about macroeconomic policy as if he is some economic guru that studied and got a doctorate in economics, when he has no idea of what is going on in the world economy or in the New Zealand economy. And when he talks about debt reduction and inflation, let's look at the reality of what's gone on. New Zealand has had to deal with the biggest recession since the 1930s, and we didn't get this country to go into depression. New Zealand has had to rebuild our second biggest city, and we've done that all under the time of keeping our country's economic finances under control and delivering a strong future going forward. We now have growth rates above 3%, the second best in the Western world. That's the kind of economic management that New Zealanders wanted and they got from this government. It's not the kind of economic management that the Green and Labor parties would deliver. The Green Party talks about housing and electricity as its two big expenses that are causing inflation. Let's have a look at both of them. I'll come back to housing when we talk about the Labor Party policy around capital gains tax. But let's talk about electricity first. The Green Party want to bring in a carbon tax on New Zealanders. That $500 a year on everybody's power bill that they want to bring in around emissions trading. They have said that time and time again. What does that do to your power price? It puts your power price up. If it puts your power price up under the Greens' logic, that means you've got higher inflation. That means you've got higher interest rates. And so the Green Party is saying that power prices have gone up 20%, the term of this government. Yes, they have. That is nothing compared with the 70% they went up under the previous government. But the Green Party will want to hike them up 70% in 3 years if they ever got near the Treasury benches, because they would do that for their ETS and their emissions trading scheme. So get ready, New Zealanders. If you had a Labor Greens government, you would have much higher power prices. That's the reality of green economic policy. Then we look at the Labor Party. They talked about a capital gains tax. Look at them, yeah, what's left of the Labor Party there? A capital gains tax. If you go talk to any international organisation like IMF, they talk about capital gains taxes and that, but they talk about them as capital gains taxes across all the assets, not just what the Labor Party is talking about, which is just putting capital gains taxes on the productive side of the New Zealand economy. Why would you want to tax the side of the New Zealand economy that produces the most income? Why would you want to tax businesses? Why would you want to tax the companies that pay for jobs, that provide the income for this country going forward, and you exempt family homes? You exempt family homes under the Labor one, but you tax the productive part of the economy. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And then when you go overseas, look at countries that have a capital gains tax. Have they got lower house price inflation than New Zealand? No. In San Francisco last year, the price went up 30% in 1 year. That's what you're dealing with. So Sydney has got a large increase in prices of their homes as well. And what they both got capital gains tax, doesn't stop it. Doesn't stop it. This is Phil Twyford over here, the housing person for the Labor Party, but he would have no idea because he's just doing what David Cunliffe told him to do. So, if we look at it, the Green Party want to put up power prices. They want to put up power prices through their ETS. The Labor Party want to attack the productive part of New Zealand, and they're still not going to change the price of New Zealand prices of New Zealand properties going up. And that doesn't work in the economic sense. But I just want to have, before I finish, I just want to talk about one local issue that is dear to my heart and dear to the heart of the people of Waikato. What's that? And that is the Waikato Expressway. Excellent. This country has got the ability to grow and grow successfully, and we need the infrastructure to do that. And when you look at the roads of national significance, the Waikato Expressway has got 2 contracts that come up in 2015. 2 parts of that road, both of them around the $600 to $700 million, the Huntly and Hamilton bypasses. They need to be contracted in 2015, which is next year. The Labor Party and the Green Party, mark my words, will not commit to funding those projects. The people of Hamilton and the people of Waikato have the most to lose from this election. They have the most to lose from a national government not being re-elected. If National doesn't get back in, those roads don't happen. Those roads don't happen. There is no economic growth and plan for Hamilton going forward. And I see Nanaia Mahuta here, and I bet you she will go back to Tainui, and they will say they need that road for their inland port, don't they? They do it, Ruakura. I don't know how you can sit through those meetings with Tainui and say to them, we won't build the road that actually makes the biggest capital investment for that tribe going forward. That is the truth of what happens, and that is the truth of what will happen after this election if you've got a Labor Greens government. The people of Hamilton and the Waikato will miss out. They will miss out on their golden opportunity they have in front of them to link with Auckland into Tauranga. And that will happen because Labor and the Greens will not build them. And you say, how do you know that, Dave? How do you know that they will not build them? Well, the Green Party's already pulled the plug on 2 that are signed up now, so they're going to certainly pull the plug on anything that is in the process of being signed up next year, aren't they? And the Labor Party, they do exactly what the Green Party wants to do when it comes to these things, because they're under the hand and the fist of the Green Party when it comes to transport. So, to the members of the public out there, this is an important election. This is an important election because it's about the economic future of New Zealand, and this is what the budget policy statement is about. Are we willing to back for a growing, strong economy, or are we willing to vote for a Green Party that's going to put power prices up? Are we going to vote for a Labor Party that's going to put a capital gains tax on, which is their Trump economic policy that won't actually achieve anything? Are you going to vote for a Labor Greens Party that is going to hurt the people of Hamilton and the Waikato and deny them the future that they could have had under a national government? That's why people won't vote for them. And then there's a red herring. There's New Zealand First there that doesn't actually know what they will actually get if anyone votes for them. They would have no idea about economic policy. And I bet you Winston Peters is trying to look up what the Waikato Expressway is. He wouldn't understand. And that is the road to the future of that city. So if you ever visit, you will see how important it is. But, Mr Speaker, this is an election that's going to be about economic policy. The choice is clear. Good economic management, delivered good economic growth, reduced unemployment and managed our finances in the most difficult of times. On the other side, you have weird and wonderful platforms that will actually increase the cost of living, that will not achieve the purpose that they say, and the third party doesn't even have a platform. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Right, Honourable.